Arsenal and Manchester United met for what was effectively a Premiership title decider at Highbury in mid-April 2003. The Gunners knew a win would send them back to the top of the table, whilst a victory for United would see them go 6 points clear of their great rivals and possibly put an end to Arsenal's hopes of retaining their Premiership crown. The home side had reserve keeper Stuart Taylor in goal for the clash after David Seaman went down with a heavy cold. Arsene Wenger otherwise had no injury worries as he fielded his strongest side to take on one of their great adversaries. There were recalls for Gilberto Silva, Robert Pires, Thierry Henry and Dennis Bergkamp, who were all rested in the Gunners' 1-0 FA Cup semi-final win over Sheffield United. Arsenal hadn't lost at home in the league since a defeat by Blackburn back in October. Alex Ferguson kept faith with the same United team that thrashed Newcastle 6-2 in their last game. That meant David Beckham was surprisingly left on the bench. United lined up with Ruud van Nistelrooy in attack, supported from deep by Paul Scholes, who netted a hat-trick in that win over Newcastle. The Red Devils were unbeaten in the league in their last 13 games. Highbury full to the rafters, Mark Halsey the man in charge, Alan Parry the commentator.
It's going to be Manchester United to get us underway then in the match they are calling the title decider. Of course, with 5 games to go for one of these clubs and 4 for the others after tonight, it's not going to be quite as crucial as that, but everyone agrees that this will set the scene for what follows. As Ryan Giggs gets back to do his defensive duties there, up against Ashley Cole, restored only recently, of course, into the Arsenal lineup after a hernia operation. He came back for the FA Cup semi-final at the weekend. Pires also back in the starting lineup. He's been out with an ankle problem and didn't play in that semi-final. The opening exchange is so important here. When the teams clashed in the FA Cup at Old Trafford in February, it was a stormy opening and referee Jeff Winter laid down the law with 3 yellow cards early on. Here's Thierry Henry. The ball forward to Cole. Lovely skill, but the cross not good enough. However, a second opportunity for Pires. Manchester United deal with the first real threat. Terrific pace and movement from both sets of players early on here. As Scholes made life difficult for Laurent. Keown to his rescue. And now the Cameroon international is checked by Keane. It'll be interesting to see exactly when the referee does produce the night's first yellow card, because I'm pretty certain that we won't go through this evening without some kind of caution. But at the moment, Mark Halsey feels it's sufficient just to say a word of admonishment to the Manchester United skipper, who's always in the thick of things in these high-profile games. Patrick Vieira, tall, powerful figure, closely marked by both Brown and Ferdinand. Thierry Henry will take the free kick. Clever bend on it, but it was O'Shea who got it away. Henry winning the header back again. And then Sylvestre has given it away to Robert Pires. Vieira going in a bit late, but again the referee happy to wave play on. Wes Brown for Manchester United. Nicky Butt showed the ball to Vieira, and his tackle has earned Manchester United a free kick. Consultation over the ball before Scholes plays it back rather hurriedly to Keane. I don't think that one was straight out of the textbook. Van Nistelrooy has hardly had a kick yet. Good play by Brown, and now by Nicky Butt out to Solskjaer. Van Nistelrooy moving in, Scholes behind him. First glimmer of an opening in the game. Inside the opening 9 minutes for a man bang in form. Paul Scholes, who got a hat-trick, of course, against Newcastle at the weekend, taking him on to 17 goals. The best total of his Manchester United career. And by his standards, and he knows it, that was a real opportunity. Dennis Bergkamp's header. Away by O'Shea. Ferdinand taking no risks. Nor did Campbell at the other end, but his header against Solskjaer has given United the throw. Third of 3 massive away games this for United. They were beaten and given a football lesson by Real Madrid in the Champions League. Then they gave Newcastle a lesson in the Premier League at the weekend with that 6-2 win. Oh, the flick through to Van Nistelrooy! Well, you would have put money and a lot of it on Ruud Van Nistelrooy scoring here. Arsenal, I think, were expecting an offside flag. They moved up, but quite clearly the Dutchman timed his run to perfection, and had it not been for the onrushing Taylor, that would have been a tap-in for Van Nistelrooy. And I think the presence of the goalkeeper right on his toes there must have had an effect on Van Nistelrooy then. But we are talking here about one of the great goal scorers in world football, so that's a bad miss. And following on Paul Scholes earlier in the half, Arsenal will be feeling it could be their lucky night. Giggs, meanwhile. Nicky Butt, surely you can't give this many chances to Manchester United and expect them to keep on missing them. 2 gilt-edged opportunities have been scorned by United. Cole. Oh, terrific run again by Perez. Forced into the corner by Brown and then barged over. Free kick. Almost midway through the first half of this epic Barclaycard English Premier League match. The game that all the press here has been billing as a title decider. And it is still Arsenal 0, Manchester United 0. Campbell comes forward to join Vieira on the near post area. Now he's peeled away and got the header in, but no real power on it. Should have done better really there, Sol Campbell. He had a definite sighting of goal. I was surprised he doesn't get more goals from set pieces, Campbell. 3 he scored this season. Here's Nicky Butt. Too long for Paul Scholes. I'm sure Manchester United fans all around the world will be thinking to themselves, we should be in the lead here. Scholes' his header early on, and then that miss by Ruud Van Nistelrooy a few moments ago. Oddly enough, there hasn't been a genuine save to make for either goalkeeper as yet. I say oddly enough because you wouldn't believe that in view of the start that both teams have made here. Keogh. O'Shea has given it away and then wins it back from Bergkamp. Giggs. It's a lovely little ball. Van Nistelrooy back again to Ryan Giggs. Van Nistelrooy, that's brilliant! Ruud Van Nistelrooy, surely he won't miss again! No way! Ruud Van Nistelrooy gives Manchester United the lead! He doesn't like the easy tap-ins. They've got to be classics for him. Campbell won't appreciate that. He was made to look second-rate by Ruud Van Nistelrooy, who has just scored his 37th goal of a quite amazing season. Brilliant! A wonderful finish at the end of a wonderful run. There was nothing Taylor could do this time to stop him, and nothing anyone could do to keep him on his seat. Off Scholes for an Arsenal throw. looks like we are going to get an early change here for Arsenal. Edu, the Brazilian, getting ready. I don't know whether Vieira's suffering again from the leg injury that made him a big doubt for tonight, and obviously forced him to go off in the semi-final of the weekend. We shall see. Henry, cleared by Ferdinand. Van Nistelrooy, that was handball, I thought. The referee says play on. The right decision. Bergkamp shot, and Barthez had just got stranded off his line slightly there. Scrambled back in panic. I'm relieved to see the ball go over him. Yes, it clearly is going to be Vieira. What a blow for Arsenal. Frustration as he chucks the captain's armband to Martin Keown. For the second successive game, Arsenal's main man in midfield has to leave the field because of a knee injury. He lasted 56 minutes of the FA Cup semi-final of the weekend. He's only lasted, 33 minutes here tonight. There's a certain nervousness perhaps about Arsenal's play that isn't evident when Manchester United have the ball, and that was even the case, I think, before they scored. United are up for this. They're in the mood. I know they've got Arsenal on the back foot. We've got them where we want them, was the war cry from Sir Alex before the match. They do, with the ball back in. Danger here as Barthez took a big risk in coming that far from goal, but again got away with it. If he'd have mistimed that challenge, anything could have happened. The ball could have run loose. He could have even given away a penalty kick. He does play on the edge, doesn't he? Routine save for him that time. Into the final 30 seconds, and there will be a minute of stoppage time, that's all. Which just indicates how fast this game has been and how little stoppage time has been necessary. Cole. Risky with Van Nistelrooy around. Good clearance under pressure by Taylor. On. A very unlikely route to an equalising goal. He stumbled at that moment and it looked as though the chance had gone. He kept going and Barthez was fooled. It might have clipped off the heel of Henry. Let's have another look. It did. It hit his own player, and that was enough to fool Barthez. As Solskjaer crosses, meanwhile, and almost picked out Van Nistelrooy. Well, I guess, as a goal scorer, you're going to claim them all. So officially, that has to be Thierry Henry's strike. And that would make him now on 28 goals for the season. 20 of them in the Premier League. Here's Giggs, meantime, for United. Rocked by the unexpected nature of that equaliser, but looking to hit back straight away, and young Taylor with an excellent save. And suddenly now the force is with Arsenal again. Well, isn't it amazing how one little incident like that leads to a goal, one stroke of good fortune, can alter the whole perspective of a game of football, and that's what it's done. But here come United again on the break with Giggs. Van Nistelrooy to his right. It's not a bad ball either. Van Nistelrooy is on the far post waiting for the cross that never came in from Miguel Silvestre. But it did, but not in the right direction. Very strange goal, wasn't it? In all respects. Now Arsenal 1, Manchester United 1. Thierry Henry, who scored the goal without knowing much about it, wins the ball back cleverly. And now Nicky Butt for United. And Arsenal are even getting the little decisions now, like throw-ins. Nicky Butt complains. They've already got on with it. Pires. cross to no one in particular, and Gary Neville, well, credit to him in the end, he cleared the danger, but it was a risky thing to do. Well, that's a lovely ball, and here's the chance to go in the lead, and Henry has taken it. Incredible turnaround at Highbury. How important will that goal be? Thierry Henry, and this time there's no doubt about who scored it. And Arsenal, in the space of 17 second-half minutes, have turned a one-goal deficit into a 2-1 lead. United players complaining that maybe the goal scorer was offside, but there was no question about the ice-cool nature of his finish. That was the moment the ball was played, and I tell you what, I think the linesman might have got that wrong. He certainly looked from that picture to be in an offside position when the ball was played, and he went on and found the net. And United have got a just cause for complaint. As Solskjaer crosses, it's a great ball in. Ah, what a game this is! Straight away they've hit back with Ryan Giggs. Game of the season, you bet it is. And there's still almost half an hour to go. Unbelievable stuff at Highbury. Just as they were still debating the goal they conceded, within 90 seconds, United have gone down the other end and scored themselves. Ryan Giggs' header beating the despairing dive of Stuart Taylor. Wenger, who does not normally lose his cool, is beginning to look like a man under pressure. Ryan Giggs, not exactly a noted header of the ball, though he has scored a few with his head in his career. As Henry wins it back, and the foul has been given, we could have had another goal. But the free kick had already been signalled by Mr. Halsey before the ball hit the back of the net. What a spectacular few minutes football we've had here. 2-2. Wenger is still furious about the manner in which his team lost concentration. And it's getting a little bit ragged now as fatigue creeps in. But suddenly, Manchester United switch the play to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Oh, good defending. He's not had the best night, not by any means, Sol Campbell. Well, he might have used an elbow then on Solskjaer. Now then, the linesman saw something because he's indicated a free kick. What he saw, we're about to discover. I must say, it looks suspiciously as though the Arsenal man had used his elbow, shall we say, to hold off the challenge. Was it deliberate, and how serious was it? Well, you heard the words, deliberate elbow in the face. That's got to be a red card. A unique insight there. I don't think I've ever heard that kind of discussion between linesman and referee before. It is red. And that, it goes without saying, is a very serious blow to Arsenal. Not just tonight. He will be banned for 3 matches. For violent conduct. And yet again, the meeting of the two giants of English football has ended acrimoniously. Now, I don't know how much contact he made there, but he certainly, for me, did exactly what the linesman said in pushing his arm and his elbow towards Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. It's yet another red card. The 48th player sent off in the 7 seasons since Arsene Wenger took control. The 4th Arsenal player dismissed this season. And I repeat, unless there's some kind of appeal, he will be banned for 3 games. That's the punishment. And that's the frustration for Campbell. Still time for a winner. Giggs has given it away. Kanu. Arsenal desperately need a winner. United's need is not quite so urgent, I would suggest now. Because if it finishes like this, Arsene Wenger's team are still going to be 3 points behind their greatest rivals. They do, of course, have a game in hand because of their FA Cup semi-final involvement. The dice will be loaded against them, unless they can get something now. And here's the man who can! Oh, Henry denied by Barthez in stoppage time. What would have been the winner, and what would have been his hat-trick. And still they come forward with Henry. Dangerous ball in, but nobody went to the near post to meet it apart from Barthez. There can only be seconds remaining now. Free kick has gone against the Arsenal man. And I don't think I've ever seen Wenger quite as angry as he has been on the touchline tonight. And that's a sign of frustration. I think that's the sign he knows the title is ebbing away, and there's the final whistle. It's been a marvellous night. The score at Highbury, Arsenal 2, Manchester United 2.
A cracking match with both sides refusing to budge an inch in their search for Premiership glory. The draw meant that Arsenal were playing catch-up to their North West rivals, and they were unable to do so, as a draw with Bolton and a crucial defeat to Leeds meant they had to settle for second place. Manchester United's form at the back end of that Premiership season was relentless. They went on to win their remaining 4 league fixtures and secure the Premiership crown, despite being behind Arsenal for much of the season.